All right, we live, brother. Hey,
Okay.
Shalom, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, this is the brother Gamal Yala out of Great Millstone, Atlanta.
And I'm the brother Sa'ar from Great Millstone Dallas Camp. Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give our praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Rakakadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, coming at you with another lesson. All right, and this is going to be entitled "Work While It Is Day." All right, and we're just going to build off that precept, John 9:5. Go ahead and grab that, brother, and we'll go ahead and get straight into it.
Okay. This is the book of John, chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 4, brother.
Okay.
It says, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world.
Yep. So it says, I must work the works of him that sent me. All right. Because, and I mean, that alone tells you that this thing is not of ourselves. Okay. All right. The Lord sent us. Okay. The Lord ordained the elect to do the work. And it
That's
said,
right.
I must, meaning, you know, that means you're determined. Okay. I have to do this. I have no choice. I must do the works of him that sent me. Okay. While it is day. All right. You know, because daytime is hey, well, you look at your regular scheduled day, right? Um, well, really in the ancient world, all you had was the daytime. You didn't really do things at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta do and fulfill everything that you can while you actually have the time, while you actually have the daylight. You know,
Right.
if you had anything you want to add to it, bro, you got it.
I'll just land back into what you're saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like what you had stated, when you work during the day, your works are seen. You know what I'm saying? Back in the ancient world, you didn't have no night shift. You didn't have third shift in the ancient world, man. I mean, the only third shift that I could think of in the ancient world was the night watch. You know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, or whatever profession that you had, whether you were a carpenter or a tent maker, or whatever the case is, you was doing it during the day. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when a lot of commerce was taking place too. Because back in the ancient world, I mean, of course, you worked for a pay, but a lot of times too, you traded with other people. You know what I'm saying? And how you going to be able to have commerce with other people if it's at night? A lot of these works were done during the day. All right. So Yahawashi is using this example about working the works. Oh, first and foremost, he said, I must work the work who had sent me. And the who was talking about the Heavenly Father. So just like the Heavenly Father has sent Yahawashi to do this work, all right, we've been ordained to do the same thing. And we have somebody to look up to and seeing that it's possible. And they commanded for us to do because, day represents light. Night represents darkness. Okay, we want to make sure that we walk as children of the light, as is written right there in John the 9th chapter, as Yahawashi was. He says, I am the light of the world. Okay, you read it in Genesis, it talked about a greater light and a lesser light. We know the greater light meaning the day, right? So we want to make sure that we're showing the representation of that great light, which ultimately represents wisdom at the end of the day, too. You know what I'm saying? How do you want your work to be seen, your wisdom to be seen, if you're doing all these things at night? But if it's done during the day, it's made manifest for the whole world to see through the Spirit. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, man. Now, does that mean that you don't work at night? No, of course not. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's written in Wisdom of Solomon, in the Psalms, the 19th chapter, that the word goes in day and night. But Yahawashi is symbolically using the day, representing his word, his wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that's being brought out. Okay, we're not children of darkness. We are children of the light. So he used that analogy of walking as if it's day. You got it out.
I got a quick precept that basically links up with this one. It's John 4:34. Yahawashi said unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. All right. So that's the purpose. Okay. That's the goal at hand. All right. Is to do the will of the Heavenly Father. All right. And it says to finish his work. Okay. Because, like that old saying goes, or like that old motivational quote was, you have to finish what you started. All right. It basically, if you don't finish, then your work is in vain. All right. So that's the main thing is that endurance, you know. And going back to let's see, 9:4, it says the night cometh when no man can work, right? So we're coming into that, into like the brother brought out, the dark symbolizes a time of darkness, right? Okay, a time of tribulation. Okay, that's when you know there's gonna be a famine of the word. Okay, all right, that's gonna be when basically either you built up what you needed, either you built up that oil, all right, that's spiritual oil, or you're lacking. like them Chicago niggas say, you know, get caught lacking, man. You know, you got it, bro.
That's right. Con. Here, I definitely want to bring this out here in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 5, if I may, brother. This is 1 Thessalonians. So like one second. This 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 5. Really, I really want to start at verse 3. You know, you went into the time of darkness, which represents that tribulation. You know what I'm saying? So 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And we understand that time to be coming soon. When Esau cracks down heavy, when that chip gets pushed heavy, the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. Okay, when it's hard to eat in these streets here, when an apple is going to be $100, whatever the case is, we know that time of darkness is coming very soon. All right, we know through Esau's policy, all right, through his policy, through different laws that he's passing, through the different decrees that he's pushing. And you look at these different decrees and laws, and it's like, man, what the hell, man? A lot of the stuff is becoming very abominable. Okay, within that being the case, you know the time of darkness is approaching. Okay, but it says in verse 4, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. And how do we know that? You read it in Isaiah the 33rd chapter. It says, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy time and strength of salvation. So we know as that time fully approaches it, we're going to be within that light, or the elect, Lord willing, you know, speaking of as a hopeful one of those men. I know you feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? We know that we ain't going to be in darkness when that time comes, because we have the knowledge of this truth. We have the spirit of YAHAWASHI. We have the spirit of YAHAWAH within us. So we'll know how to handle certain things when that time comes. Because again, it says, brethren, ye are not in darkness. Okay. So like a bug flu. All right. Verse 6 says, therefore, let us not sleep as do others. Okay. And you can look at that symbolically with Matthew 26:41, where he says, you know, for the flesh indeed is the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Yeah. When you go into the account earlier, when Yahawashi was in the garden of Salaki, man, Satan, man. When Yahawashi was in the garden of Gethsemane, you know, when he was praying, the oil press, right? And then he went back and he seen his disciples sleeping, and he said, why the hell y'all sleeping, man? Y'all supposed to be up right now. Okay. He used, you know, when you look at this letter to the church of Thessalonica, Paul, pretty much, you can tell he used it as an analogy within that. He said, therefore, let us not sleep. Okay. Because when is the time that you normally sleep? The time you normally sleep is when it's dark outside, when everybody is asleep, when the moon is out. Okay. When it's darkness, that's the time to sleep. Okay. So he says, therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. And that's what we need to be doing right now. Okay. When you're watching, you're aware. Okay. You see what's going on, and you need light to see, right? You know, so it says, for they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. Okay. So pretty much the moral of that is we ain't supposed to be asleep as others do. You look at the whole world out here, you look at society, and everything's full of darkness. Okay. Everything's full of darkness out here, man. Everybody's in the night. People love that nightlife, for what they call it, man. You know, they live in that Las Vegas life, you know, but us, we're the children of the day. We see what's going on. We have the light shine upon us, so we can be able to call out the bullshit while these people are out here in the dark, man. All right. That's why these people are blind. When you're blind, you can't see. It's utter darkness in front of you, man. Bumping in the walls and all that shit, man. We see what's going on through the spirit. Okay. That's because we have the light within us. We have the light on us. You got it out.
God, hey, that's right, bro. Hey, well, you know, it's that contrast of light and dark. you know, and that's the balance of the Most High. The Most High created everything in balance, you know, with the right hand and the left hand side, right? Right hand being the light, the left hand being the side of darkness, you know. So that's that balance, you know. Even how the foundation of the world was created. When you read Genesis, it says the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the dark, right? So that's the balance, you know. Even the heavens, the creation of the heavens is the same thing, you know. And just like you beautifully brought out, you know, that's when men sleep, is during the dark. So if you're in darkness, right, that means you're basically asleep. Okay, you basically have a slumber, the spirit of slumber. All right, which I got a precept. I got to find it real quick. If you have anything you want to bring out, you got it. Okay,
yeah, I got another one real quick while you're looking for that one. This is the book of John, chapter 12, verse 35. Let me see here. Yeah, verse 35. Then Yahawashi said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while ye have the light, lest darkness come upon you. Okay, so when you go into that word walk, okay, it doesn't only mean just strolling around, moseying all around. You know, when you go into that word walk, it pretty much means to live. Okay, it's how one conducts himself, one's walk. Okay, so it says, you know, walk while you have the light, lest darkness come upon you. Okay, so how we live our lives according to the spirit, we're supposed to conduct ourselves of how Yahawashi would want to conduct ourselves. Okay, there's a lesson that the elder brother in our camp, Ari Anaza, did. Okay, and it was a while back, but it was really to the point. And it was a lesson about a month ago. But he said if Yahweh and Yahawashi had a conversation about you, how would it go? Okay, that conversation will be based upon how you conduct yourself being down here, right? Okay, are you trimming off what needs to be trimmed off? Are you cutting off what needs to be cut off? Are you doing the work? Okay, this thing at about every Friday or Saturday or Tuesday, whenever you have camp, we understand that that's a very, very, very important role when it comes to this thing of ours. So don't get it twisted. But when I say that is the Heavenly Father's looking about what you're doing when you're by yourself. Okay, how you conducting yourself when all eyes aren't on you. Okay, that's really when it counts. Okay, but I'm gonna go back to this. It says, for he that walketh in darkness knoweth not whither he goeth. All right, again, if you blind, you don't know where the hell you walking to, man. If you walking in darkness, if you shut all the lights off, I don't want to say in your crib because you know your crib, but if you go to a random spot, or you at Walmart, or you at a random bar or whatever, and all the lights cut off, you ain't gonna know where the hell to go, man. You're gonna be bumping into people, bumping into everything, stepping on shoes, you know, knocking drinks over on accident. Pretty much you can't see if there's no light. Okay. The water YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI for sending Yahawashi down here because he is that light. And through that light, we were able to see. Okay. Verse 36 says, while ye have light, believe in light. Believe in the light. Who is the light? That's Yahawashi. That ye may be the children of light. These things spake Yahawashi and departed and did hide himself from them. Okay. So while we have the spirit of Yahawashi with us, the spirit of Yahawashi with us, I should say, we need to know how we need to conduct ourselves. We have the light. So within us having the light, it's impossible to slip. It's impossible to walk off a cliff. Okay. But you have to trust in that light and trust and believe that light dwells within you. Okay. And that's going to give you more confidence to be able to walk, man, with more fidelity, I should say. That's faith. Okay. With that light that we have, man. That's why the lesson, like you titled it, work while it is day, because we have the tools to work while it's day, man. He gave us all the tools that we needed to work. He gave us the eyesight to see. He gave us the hands to work. He gave us a shield to blockade these fiery darts that are coming at us, man. But if we don't have this light, we're susceptible to all these things that are coming up against us. You got it, brother.
That's right, bro. I got something real quick. Romans 11 and I'll start at verse 7. All right. What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. All right. So, all right, here goes another division. All right, the elect being the right hand side, and it said the rest were blinded, being the left hand side, right? Um, you know, in reference to the elect, okay, the elect is gonna work, okay. The elect is gonna make sure they're gonna give diligence to make their call and an election sure, okay. So that's how you know that the men of Great Millstone are in the right spirit.
Right.
Not saying all Great Millstone is of the elect, but hey, it's got to be a majority of men because they're the ones that's working. All right. So let's keep going. According as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And like you mentioned, brother, that spiritual eye salve, right? That's the reason why they can't see, because it says he's given them the spirit of slumber. Okay, he's given. It says the rest that were blinded, the Most High had given them the spirit of slumber. Okay, that spirit of slumber meaning, you know, they're in that darkness. Okay, like you said, they're not. They're basically in a room, just pitch black, and you know, trying to feel their way around, but they don't have that night vision, you know, them night goggles or whatever, so to speak, to be able to see and maneuver, you know, through the darkness, you know.
Right. Con. And these people that are out here, man, they love the darkness, bro. They love the darkness. Even 2/3 of our own people love it. They killed the prophets. You know what I'm saying? You know, you wake up in the morning and it's bright. You know what I'm saying? That feeling that you get, oof, man. That's how they feel when it came to us in the world, starting with YAHAWASHI, man. These excuse my language, man, but I must say, these motherfuckers slain the prophets because they didn't want to see the light that was shining upon them, man. They love living in darkness. Okay? Matter of fact, you remember the account. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just pull it up through the spirit, bro. This is I believe it's in Ezekiel. Is it the 8th chapter? Let's see here. Yeah. This is Ezekiel chapter 8, and I'm gonna just go straight to the point in verse 12. Then said he unto me, son of man. So this is Ezekiel, the son of man, the son of the earth, right here is talking about, and the Lord is speaking to him. Then said he unto me, son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? Okay, and you look at 2/3 of our own people, man. These are the seeds of their father. Okay, they're the seeds of their father, man. So with that being the case, with they being the seed of their father, they're gonna have the same exact actions as their father do. Operate within the dark. Okay, so it says, son of man, see what thou seest. Hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark or the night? Okay, every man in the chambers of his ministry. For they say, the Lord seeth us not. The Lord has forsaken the earth. He said unto me, turn thee again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. So I wanted to use that as an example, going into Jake, and not even just Jake, but the reason why, just Jake, because these Edomites, they've never been given the light anyway. They've never been given the word anyway, so it don't even apply to these motherfuckers, man. All right, but you look at Israel out here, they walk in darkness, and the Lord had given us, like he had given Ezekiel, the eyes to be able to see what they do in the dark. And we calling it out for what it is, man. But we got to make sure the stuff that we calling it out, we ain't doing the same things that we calling out for. We read in John 9 and John 12, how while we have the light, we need to walk within the light. So within that, there's a certain responsibility. There's a certain requirement that's needed for it to happen, man. All right, there's certain accolades that this job requires. Okay, because again, this is a work that we're doing through the spirit. Okay, certain accolades that this job requires, and if you don't meet up to those to that criteria, the Lord could kick any of us out, or He could take that light away from us, so we walk in darkness just like these people, man. That's why it's important for us to pray that we keep that the Lord keeps that light on us, man. All right, you got it, brother.
Got something real quick. This Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believed. Hey, so it's a high time, man. You know, this is the time. All right, for the elect to be woken up, man. Okay. All right. There's gonna be a major growth. There's gonna be a major awakening of Israelites. All right, for Israelite foreigners and everybody, from across the world, man. This thing is gonna blow up tremendously. All right. So it says, the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. And that light is the armor. Okay, that light is basically the spirit of YAHAWASHI of BAHASHAM Rakakwadash of protection. Okay, so it says, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and in drunkenness, not in chambering and in wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Okay, so this is what the Lord is commanding us at this day. Okay, cast off the works of darkness. All right, put off the ways of the world and the things that are going to destroy, that are going to lead you into destruction. Okay, you got it, bro.
God, damn flies getting on my damn nerves, man. Satan, man.
I got about maybe 8 minutes left. My battery dying too.
Okay, Khan, I got you, brother. I do want to jump back to 1 Thessalonians 5, because as you were going into the armor of light, that leads me to go to verse 8. It says, 1 Thessalonians 5:8, but let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. Okay, so when you read these scriptures here, a lot of times when it goes to walking in the day or being children of the light, it always correlates it with having a clothing of armor on, a certain type of a warlike apparel, should say, because we know as these people are in darkness, there's a lot of demons that are around. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to have how should I say, the proper gear on to be able to fight within this war, because this is a war at the end of the day, man. All right, and if it's dark and you got people attacking you, you ain't gonna be able to see what's going on, who's swinging at you, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? But as it's light, and as we have this armor of light within us, all right, the spirit of truth, we can be able to see and we can be able to fight. Okay, we can be able to fight the darkness that's around us. Okay, with the armor of light. All right. Yep. That's it on that one.
Hey, well, just like you said, hey, this is the armor. Okay, this is the armor. You know, the scriptures is known as the sword, right? So you can't go into a battle without being well equipped. Okay, and that's why brothers are building themselves up in the spirit, all right, of the words of the Lord, because that's the armor. When you have it in you, okay, when you have that armor in you, all right, constantly, all right, and you have your weapon, your sword is on you at all times, man. You're always equipped, okay, to go into battle.
That's right. I got a quick one, real quick. This is Isaiah 61:10. I will greatly rejoice in Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. My soul shall be joyful in my power, for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. All right. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness, as a bridegroom decked himself with ornaments, and as a bride adorneth herself with her jewels. Okay, so all these different traits and tributes that go along with their outer apparel, which we know ultimately that's the inner apparel through the spirit, because that's the part that's being worked on. The Lord is going to add that to you once you're joyful in his name, and once you do that work that's required to do. Okay, he's going to make that armor that we have more resilient, all right, more impenetrable, to the point where Satan will try to throw them things your way, and you're going to be able to blockade them off through the spirit, man, because you are of the day. Okay, the more you walk confidently as of the day, those vials of darkness in the night will be less prone to, I don't want to say attacking you, because that's part of this walk, that's part of this work. You're going to be attacked, but you're not going to be bothered as much by it. Okay, you're not going to be messed with as much. You're kind of just going, whatever, hey, keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Because you understand it's going to happen. Things are going to come your way when you're in this truth. All right. But these things are meant to test us. That's all that is, man. And they're ultimately meant for armor to get stronger and stronger. Okay. That's ultimately what it is, man. You know, you in this thing to get stronger. We in this thing to get stronger and build more within the faith. All right, to shine brighter and brighter as the day approaches. Okay, and you even I'm gonna just bring the account up. I'm not gonna read it or nothing. But when you go into Matthew the 20th chapter, when he went into the servants, the laborers, and how he hired some at the 3rd hour, and then the 6th hour, and then the 7th hour. All right, and he promised them a penny a day. Okay, and then it went all the way to the 11th hour. Okay, when the last servants were coming in, and you know they all worked the work. Some of them were a little longer than others, but they all received that pay. But it was getting prepared for the 12th hour. And I remember Apostle Gabar did a lesson a while back going into the 12th hour, and the 12th hour is noon. That's the height of day. All right, so at the height of day is when we're going to receive our salvation, where we're going to receive our glory. Lord, when we have those men. While 12 o'clock at midnight is when Esau is going to be destroyed, man. All right. Not even just Esau, right, but the 2/3 of our own people, man. They're going to be destroyed in their darkness while the Lord's going to deliver his men up within that light. All right. That's it on that one.
Hey, I got something real quick. This is did you read Ephesians 6:13?
No, I didn't read that one.
Oh, okay. It's like I wasn't sure if you had brought it out, but this real quick, we'll probably close on this because my battery going down. But Ephesians 6:13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with the truth, having on the breastplate of righteousness, and having your feet.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. It said, stand having your loins girt about with truth, man. Well, this is the thing. When you have your loins girt, you girt your loins before you get ready to go into battle, and you girt your loins before you go to labor. Okay, because we going into the work of the day. That means laboring, right? But it's also a battle. So every time one was to girt their loins, that means that they're heading into some type of troublesome situation. And it means that you're prepared to go into that situation because you have your loins girt. You got it, brother. Salakia, man.
Nah, you good, the water. Hey, but yeah, it says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day. Hey, that reminds me of Isaiah 33:6. You know, It's all about being well equipped and preparing yourself, preparing your mind mentally, you know, for that evil day. Okay, that's what we're basically doing through the Spirit, is like spiritual doomsday prepping, man. You know,
right?
But and your feet shod, verse 15. Oh, that's the Spirit, bro. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. There goes that word prep. You know, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Okay, I think you did read 17. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. All right. So this is the matter of fact. Let me keep going.
Hey, mind if I bring up a quick point real quick?
Go ahead, bro. You got it.
In verse 16, it says above all. So it's going into these different accolades of the armor, these different pieces for the armor, the helmet, the feet, you know what I'm saying, the breastplate, all these things. But it says above all things, the shield of faith, because that's what you're going to need, that buckler, that spirit, to be able to deflect those fiery darts that are coming up at you, man. All right, you can have an armor and you can be a beast. But if you don't have that shield, man, how you going to be able to defend the different wiles of darkness coming at you, man? All right. Need that shield of faith, man. And it said it equates faith as being that shield, man. So as this day approaches, we're going to really need faith. We have faith now, but as that day truly approaches, when a lot of stuff is going to happen, knowing that crazy stuff is going to be presented in front of us, we're going to need that shield of faith, man. It said above all things. A lot of us can have, you know, blingy armor, you know, dope shoes, the helmet. But if you don't have that shield, man, you know, all that beautiful armor that you have will be attacked, you know?
Yeah.
So this shield is needed, man. You got it.
Yep.
What you saying?
Real quick, I think I got like 1 minute left, but I'm gonna just finish 18. Okay. Praying, and this is how we basically, if you ain't got faith, you gotta pray for it. Verse 18: praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. All right. So that's what it's all about. Is basically, being persevering and having that faith above all, and working the work before the bad times come. All right. So Lord willing, you brothers were edified. We want to give our praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, and Shalom.
Shalom.